안녕하세요. 와인고 크리스탈입니다. 오늘 와인고에 무척 특별한 게스트가 방문했는데요. 여러분, 크리미한 텍스처의 캘리포니아 샤르도네 좋아하세요? 캘리포니아에서 최초로 샤르도네를 만든 생산자 웬테 비냐드의 부사장인 마이클 파르씨를 소개하겠습니다. Hello, Michael.
감사합니다. How are you, Crystal? That's the only word I know.
Oh, okay.
Impressing everybody with my...
Welcome to Winego and thank you for coming.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here to stop in while I'm in Seoul on a whirlwind tour.
Yeah. Actually, Wente is one of the best sellers in Winego, and there are many Wente fans in Korea. Could you tell us about your wine and your winery?
Well, first of all, that's great news that we are selling well at Winego. Thank you very much for that. We appreciate it. Wente Vineyards is the oldest family-owned winery in the United States.
Oh, I see. How long have it?
Well, it's been around since 1883, so that, if you do the math, this year we're celebrating our 135th anniversary. And there's out of the 9,000 wineries that there are in the United States, no one can claim that they have a fifth-generation winemaker at the helm making wines for us, Carl Wente.
Okay. And I heard there's a golf course in the vineyard designed by Greg Norman.
That's not all. The Wente family were very smart. Going back about 30 years ago, being in Livermore Valley, not a tremendous amount of people knew where Livermore was. So they had to make a decision. Should we start expanding our brand and building distribution throughout the United States and throughout the world? Or, the other extreme, why don't we create something very special at the winery in Livermore? And lo and behold, Carolyn Wente, who's the CEO, fourth generation, family member, started the Wente restaurant 30 years ago. And so we've got the restaurant, and then we have the golf course. Phil Wente, her brother, is an avid golfer, and we asked Greg Norman from Australia to come and set up our golf course. And then the other third sibling, Eric Wente, who's chairman, is a music lover, and he started our summer concert series. So as a result, we've become known as America's lifestyle winery, combining, first of all, great wines, because that's what it's all about, but an experience having to do with food and wine, an experience having to do with golf, which is a very aspirational sport, and finally with music. So all these things to enjoy with your friends, with your family, a wonderful experience that you can remember wherever you end up back in the world.
Wow, great. Wow. I want to play golf in Wente and pick the grapes and taste it.
And taste, yes, of course. That's all part of it, and we'd love to have you there. It's easy to get to.
All right. So, there's two wines to taste today. First, Chardonnay Morning Fall 2016.
Correct. This is our Wente Vineyards Morning Fall Chardonnay, 100% from the Livermore Valley. Now, there's two words on every single bottle of wine that we have, and it's estate grown. That is a legal term in the United States. If it says estate grown by law, you must own your own vineyards, you must grow your own grapes, and make the wine yourself 100%. We love that because it gives us consistency of style.
Okay.
And this Chardonnay, ooh, that's a nice little hefty tasting there.
Yeah.
Ooh, swirl that, it's going to bounce right out of the glass.
Yeah.
This Chardonnay is quite famous, or actually Chardonnay in general is famous for Wente. It was a good family friend of the Wentes. His name was Charles Wetmore, and it was back over 100 years ago. He traveled to Burgundy, France, and brought back vine clippings from Burgundy and shared them with the Wente family. And they planted them in the Livermore Valley, and they were the first ones to ever plant the Chardonnay vines. As a result, the vines started propagating. They started making better and better Chardonnay. Other wineries started to buy the vines from the Wente family. So many did that wine into the future where we are in 2018. 80% of all California Chardonnays come from the Wente clone.
I see.
So this Chardonnay, once again, 100% Livermore Valley. 50% of it is stainless steel and then barrel fermented. We're aging it in a combination of the French and American oak for about 6 months, so just a kiss of oak. We want to make it more of a Burgundian style. Whenever I taste this wine or scent this wine, a lot of white tree fruit going on. Apples and pears.
Right. And tropical fruits. Like
and just a theme throughout all of our wines would be nice, crisp levels of acidity.
And nice, creamy texture, mouth coating.
It does. It just fills your mouth. And what I love about this wine is the length. It stays with you. But made in a little bit of a Burgundian style. It's lean. We've got some nice minerality. There's just a beautiful presence of that acidity in it. We have another Chardonnay that we're not drinking right now. It's called Riva Ranch Single Vineyard Chardonnay from Arroyo Seco, which is a sub-appellation of Monterey. And that's the one that has the tropical fruit flavors. It's creamy. It's got some malolactic fermentation. That says California all over it. This one says California, but made in a little bit of a Burgundian style.
Okay, I like that.
Isn't that good?
A glass of Chardonnay for lunch is great.
Lunch, dinner, and for me, I guess, sometimes even breakfast. Actually, 9 o'clock in the morning is the best time for me to taste.
Really? 9 o'clock?
For tasting, notice I'm saying tasting, not necessarily drinking.
Next. Southern Cabernet Sauvignon.
Southern Hills, Cabernet Sauvignon.
Yeah, 2015.
It's got those same two words on there, estate grown, that not many wineries can actually put on that label because they might be buying fruit from other farmers. And that's fine, but our business philosophy is own it, farm it, make it 100% consistency of style, vintage after vintage. 135 vintages that the family has had that opportunity to make wines in Livermore.
Wow.
Just a fun little historical aspect of this wine. It was once again that pioneering man named Charles Wetmore, over 100 years ago, traveled on, it was a different trip from Burgundy, but he traveled to Bordeaux, and he met the owners of Chateau Margaux and Chateau d'Yquem. And gifts were given, once again, vines. He raced back to California as fast as he could in those days, planted them, and our Cabernet Sauvignon, the DNA is directly related to Chateau Margaux. And our Sauvignon Blanc that we're not drinking today, the DNA is there from Chateau d'Yquem. We're not trying to make Chateau Margaux wines here. We're making California wines with a very interesting
This is very fresh Cabernet Sauvignon. Lots of fruits.
And we call it Southern Hills, paying tribute to that east to west oriented valley. And on the southern side of that valley is where our Cabernet Sauvignon grapes are grown. Once again, for me, the balance of acidity, which makes it go extremely well with food.
Yeah, good acidity.
But just the nice, fresh, forward fruit flavors, the plum, some of the dark berry flavors.
What would you go for food with this wine?
Well, I'm still tasting some bulgogi from lunch,
bulgogi.
And it's tasting really good. I've got a little Southern Hills bulgogi.
It's very fruity.
It is, and boy, I've been eating a lot of kimchi since I've been here too. And kimchi and more spicier style wines, I probably recommend our Bayer Ranch Zinfandel, which just not long ago was ranked as one of the top California, actually top international wines to go well with Korean barbecue food, Zinfandel. But this wine here, you can go with quite a bit, and because of the balance of acidity, of fruit, of the tannin, if you trust your chef to make a well-balanced dish between spices and salt and pepper, and if you trust your winemaker, making a balanced wine between acidity, between fruit and tannin if it's red wine, if you trust both parties, you bring the wine and the food together, you're never going to go wrong.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for visiting.
Crystal, my pleasure. And a warm welcome invitation to Livermore Valley. It's relatively small. You have to find on the map. We've got 50 wineries compared to Napa Valley that has 500. So Napa, we love the fact that you've put California on the map around the world, but people are discovering the beauty and wonderness of Livermore Valley.
I can't wait to visit Livermore.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you, Crystal.
Thank you.
And 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
Those are 2 words I know.
오늘 이렇게 테이스팅을 하니까, 그리고 이렇게 직접 불고기랑 어울릴 것 같다고 말씀하시니까 정말 불고기랑 같이 먹어보고 싶네요. 오늘 저녁 집에서 불고기와 함께 웬티의 까베르네 소비뇽 한번 도전해보세요. 와인국 크리스탈이었습니다.